Hello everyone, my name is Sondre Heggheim, and in this video I will address the German demand situation for the coming winter. The German electricity consumption is around 530 terawatt hours annually and is dominated by industry at 43% and a combined household and services demand of 51% of their total consumption. So in these volatile times and the price levels that this has led to, we've seen power prices breaking all-time high records several times per week. There is no question that this will have an impact on Germany's industrial production. Power prices have reached such high levels that continuing production for some industrial plants is no longer economically viable throughout Europe. And we're observing examples of these plants shutting down or reducing production close to every day. So one example being Yara shutting down much of their ammonia and urea production in France and Italy. And industrial production facilities would at this point prefer to sell off their power in the market at the high prices we're seeing, rather than keeping on production costs in addition to electricity costs, because this is the more lucrative alternative in terms of revenue in the current situation. So aluminum and steel are categories within industrial production that will feel this the most, as their manufacturing processes are particularly power intensive, and they require significant amounts of electricity to heat up and modify their raw materials. One example of this is Norwegian Hydro's aluminum plant in Slovakia that shut down a couple of weeks ago. Slovakia has experienced very similar price levels as Germany in the current situation. So in discussing potential scenarios and effects of decreasing the consumption in Germany, there are a lot of factors to consider. If Germany accomplishes their goal of decreasing heating to 19 degrees in both household and services, as well as decreasing gas consumption in industry by, let's say, 20% this coming winter, you will have some days where you will notice the effects of this and some days where you won't. And this all depends on how strong the power balance is on a given day, i.e. the amounts of wind and solar they produce from day to day. So let's say that they reach both demand reduction or demand destruction scenarios, if you will. Then we might see a reduction in power demand of about 7 or 8%. Maybe more, maybe less. And 7 to 8% of 530 terawatt hours is no small feat. And this will make it easier to move down on the production stack, meaning that we'll see more hours clearing in the cheaper production areas, such as lignite and coal, away from CCGT, on days with wind and solar production. And if there's little wind and or solar, there will probably be little to no noticeable effect. Looking at the current situation with CCGT SRMCs of around 500 euros per megawatt hour, coal at 200 and lignite at 100, we're talking about huge potential price differentials between hours if all else is equal. Thank you for listening.